And we'll just do a grab bag of topics, whatever you want to talk about. Just
Yeah.
All right, ready? I'm clicking the button.
Do it.
We're live. Yes, hello, and welcome to Apropos, a conversation between Clojure programmers that you can join in live on YouTube, despite all the odds. We're going to discuss a few Clojure news items and share our opinions on them. Then we'll jump into a REPL and code some exercises or do some demos. If you're joining us live, feel free to comment in the chat, and we'll try to address the questions. So, on our panel today, we have Ray.
Hello.
Mia.
Hi.
Mike.
Hello.
And I am Eric. Hello. We have almost like a full octave. We have a Ray, a Mia, but we don't have a Do. Well, Andy, that's too many people. Anyway.
Oh, man.
And Eric isn't a... No, we only have two notes. I'm sorry. I get where you're going. I like it. I like the
We have
direction.
2 notes. Okay. That's true.
Yeah.
That's my favourite song, you know, because it's doe, a deer, a female deer, Ray. And that's just...
And then you stop.
know? The drop of
Yeah,
golden
'cause-
sun.
Raise a drop of golden sun. That's all we need.
All right. Well, we are back, and I don't know if this is good form or not, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for any technical difficulties. Google has canceled Hangouts on air, and so now we had to spend all morning figuring out how we would continue our awesome show without them. Because
That's right. You heard it here. Google is canceled.
Google canceled themselves. Too many
Deleted
searches.
their account.
Okay, so yeah, we've got a new format. We're like Brady Bunch style now,
Yeah.
and
Or one of these things that's not like the other style.
that's true. Who's the
Right?
odd one out? We'll see.
Yeah.
I
We
feel
all
like
have
I'm
beards,
I
yeah.
feel like you guys are all in like what looks like official recording studios, and I look like a total junk master.
Especially me with that soundproof.
I'm really getting reps up next week, you know. So,
Yeah, well, Ray's got the microphone. I'm sorry, Eric's got the microphone.
yeah.
So,
And I've got the nice
how many cameras do you have in there?
me.
Yeah.
Well, what counts as a camera? So, I don't know. I have this one up here. This is the one that shoots the whiteboard that's behind me. I've got this one for recording this kind of thing. I've got a camcorder over there for... I sometimes bring it to meetups to record the meetup. Then, of course, like every computer has a camera in it now.
Do they still make camcorders?
Yes, they do. They certainly do. They're small. They're not like, shoulder. That's what it has. What they were when I was growing up.
VHS style.
So I'm looking at this show right now
Okay.
on YouTube, and I can't tell. Are we in slow motion for everyone else? Everyone, go look at it.
Are we in slow motion? That's probably because I'm streaming. It's
Is everyone
low
else seeing
frame
what
rate.
I'm seeing? Yeah.
Well, that's why we pre-apologized.
Yeah. Just deal with it.
Just deal with it.
Well, I just want to know if everyone else is seeing what I'm seeing.
What I see is low frame rate. It just
Okay.
it's like we're on the moon. That we can't get the signal fast enough. I don't know.
Hello from the moon. The moon landing is real. We've done it. This is proof.
I don't believe you.
Shh, you're there. You're on the moon.
Oh.
All right, let's talk about Clojure. How about that? So it's been a while since we had a show, over a month, I think, and I wasn't on the last one, I don't think. So it's been a long while since we've had a show, and then I don't even know what was talked about on the last one. But since our last one, there was a conference in Europe called Heart of Clojure. And one of us attended because it was in his backyard.
Huh?
No, that's not literally,
Or
but he biked
was
there.
it his garden?
He rode a bicycle to this thing. So
Yeah, an actual push bike, not a motorbike, or no electrical bikes were involved. And it was really good. Yeah, it was in Leuven, in Belgium, and it is about 20 kilometers away from where I live. It's 15 miles in old money. So, yeah, it was nice. It was a bit of an unusual conference as well, in the sense that there was a lot of people it was a lot of non-technical talk, a lot of community talks. There was a good balance of people talking about stuff that was community related and like social kind of philosophical stuff. And there was some good technical talks as well. But it was an interesting mix of subjects. And we were really, really, really lucky. I mean, cycling, I wouldn't have really cycled there if it was pissing with rain, if I'm allowed to say that on this channel. But but it was very beautiful day. The weather was really nice. It was just a perfect degree of sunshine. I don't know how to translate to American, but it's about 25 degrees. So whatever that is, it's like the 70s.
wow, that's awesome.
No, that's like 80.
Yeah, about 80. But it was a really nice 80.
That's
cool.
cool.
It was really nice. And
downright sweater weather.
The venue was kind of like an old market, I guess, an old storage place. And it had, lots of nice seats outside, and there was plenty of place to meet and chat with other people.
That's
and people
nice.
came from all over the world,
How many
Daniel
attendees?
I want to say between 250 and 300.
Nice.
But it was really good, and yeah, they did a great job of the catering. It was completely vegan, and so I was Mr. Happy. The venue was great. The talks were great. It was really a nice. I mean, I know a lot of the people that went there, and it was so friendly. It was just amazing. Really a beautiful event. I've got to say, I heartily recommend it. And if they do it again next year, I'll definitely be signing up, and hopefully one or all of you guys can come as well, because I think you would really, really enjoy it.
Yeah,
was this
I'm
the
jealous.
first one they had, or is this? Have they had ones before, or is this the very first?
No, this is the first one. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, when I was watching some of the talks, and they just seem really cool, and the way they set up the conference, it's everything I like about a conference. Try to stay out of the hotel, like I'm tired of going to a new city, and like I'm just stuck on the 7th floor of a Marriott for 3 days.
That's one of the nice things actually about Leuven, is that where the venue was, it was like a 5-minute walk to the train station, and then it's a very compact city, so you can like walk to the train station and pretty much you're in the center of town.
Nice.
Plenty of bars and restaurants, so there was no need to like go anywhere. You didn't have to scatter to the four winds or anything like that. It was really good.
Is it going to be there every year? Are they going to do it again next year?
I don't know. I think there was, I don't know if they're going to do it again. It hasn't been announced yet. I hope so. Watch this space, though. It's a lot of hard work for the people that organise it. So, I don't know if they're prepared to commit to doing all of that again.
Why is it called Heart of Clojure?
Because Belgium, well, in particular, Belgium is known as the heart of Europe. Well, that's their self-styled market thing, because a lot of the European institutions are in Brussels, which isn't so, and they call themselves the heart of Europe. So that's why it's the heart of Clojure.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And because it's, the beating heart of people that love this shit.
So it was supposed to be community oriented, as part of their the way they describe themselves, right? Like it's
Yeah.
less about the technical side and more about building community.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think that's a nice way. Frankly, I think having a kind of community focus, but look, because a lot of people say that like the whole way track is conferences, and they didn't shy away from that. They were really supporting that front and center. And it was really good. It was very super easy, and they had on a Saturday they had like a long break. They call it a CS, where you had like a couple of hours lunch and a few hours where you could meet and chat with people, and it was really really good. Yeah, I mean, they were trying to mix it up with the people as well, so you got to see people that you didn't normally talk to, so you went outside of your kind of clique, And I got to speak to at least 2 people I didn't know.
That's all.
Well, in Clojure land, that's a lot of people you don't know.
Yeah, there was plenty of people I didn't know that I'd spoken to. And actually, for me, it was really good because I was able to line up quite a lot of guests for the Deafened podcast, so that was good.
Oh, nice.
And by the way, next month I'm going to Finland for the Clojure Trade conference.
Oh man, lucky you, man.
Yeah,
we really have to catch up in the U.S. or in North America because y'all have too many cool conferences over there. We don't do it as well.
Anyway, but it was good, and I'm really looking forward to Clojure Trade as well. And I think Alex Miller is going to speak there about some things. And I think this should be. Looks like there's some other really great conferences, and I know some of the people that organise it, and so I'm really looking forward. I've never been to Finland either, so I'm looking forward to a new country.
Sounds cold already.
Right.
So, any other news that we should talk about?
What's been going on?
I have an announcement for myself. It's shameless.
Oh, yeah, you do. That's right. That's exciting.
Yeah, let me restart my video because it stopped again. All right, shameless, shameful self-promotion. I'm going to go full shameful.
Full on.
I'm
no hiding it.
Yes, my book is released in early access. So I've been writing a book for over a year now, and it's called Grokking Simplicity. It's published with Manning, and so you can get the first 3 chapters now, and you'll get new ones as they come out. It's all about functional programming. It's not Clojure, though. Just warning. It's general functional programming, and the examples are given in JavaScript.
Oh.
That was a nice reaction.
No, why.
Very good reaction. I got a nice, honest reaction there. So actually, it's a good.
Works,
yeah, it's a good language for teaching functional concepts. First of all, it's got reach, right, and that's my main goal. I feel like functional programming for Clojure programmers would be like preaching to the choir, and this has the reach, but also JavaScript as a language is not that great for functional programming, and so what that means is you actually have to teach everything. You can't just say, oh, there's this feature like Clojure has immutability by default, and so we're just going to use it. Like, you actually have to teach what is immutability, why is it worth doing, and JavaScript isn't immutable by default, so you have to make it a discipline, and so it lets you call it out as a thing to do.
Can I ask you a question,
yeah.
Eric?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but we had this discussion at the Heart of Clojure, but functional programming, the actual phrase functional programming seems like an awful phrase to me. The actual concept. So badly worded because we think of like programs as functional, meaning that it works. I know what
Right.
functional means, like causing things, but like object-oriented means something pretty obvious. It's to do with and functions is not. It's not necessarily to do with just functions, is it? It's more things. But
Right.
do you think that's a problem? Functional, just the word functional or the term functional programming. For me,
I do.
it kind of is sort of complicated already. I don't know what it means. Just the phrase doesn't tell me anything.
What else would you call it?
Open for ideas, but compositional programming. I don't know. It's Eric's book, so.
So I agree
Yeah,
that
Eric, you get to rename functional programming.
I wish I could, but I'm gonna stick with it. There's too many battles to fight. So one thing that I do is I kind of redefine functional programming, because the way people see functional programming these days is a very reductionist definition. So they'll say it's programming with pure functions, right? And then it's full stop. There's nothing else. It's just if you're using pure functions and nothing else, that is functional programming. But what that doesn't allow you to talk about is any kind of like, how do you deal with side effects? How do you deal with state? And we do deal with those things as functional programmers, and we do consider that part of our domain. And we actually have a lot more to say, I think, about state than other paradigms. We actually talk about it as a problem, and they don't. Not in the same like first class ways we talk about it. So I redefine functional programming as it's a big field, right? So it has different levels that you can get better at it, but it starts with identifying the difference, distinguishing between actions, calculations, and data. So actions are anything that have an effect on the world, or anytime or affect outside themselves. So that includes mutation of values in your memory. It also is like sending emails, launching missiles as
Side effects.
Yeah, side effects. But I mean, I had to rename it. I didn't want to use the term side effect because it's problematic. And then calculations are what we normally would call pure functions. But again, they're not always functions in a language. So function is just like Ray was saying, it's just not a good term anymore. Like for instance, the addition operator in JavaScript is not a function, but it is a calculation. So it's a problem. And then data, it's just like inert, interpretable data. And if you start the world looking at things in that way, that is a functional perspective. No other paradigm does that. Other paradigms divide the world differently, right? And that's what distinguishes, I think, functional programmers from the rest.
In your book, do you define like some immutable data structures? Do you build up to like a linked list or something like that in JavaScript?
No, we don't do any of that like low level like recursion or building up data structures like that. What we do is just a copy on write and copy on read discipline.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
And
just
so
use
then you
the
at least
standard
have
arrays and
immutability.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And you can have higher order functions to pass around in JavaScript.
That's right.
I guess that makes it a little easier than doing it in something like Java.
Right. In Java, it would be a big challenge. You'd have to like invent functions.
Yeah.
I guess you can implement things like map reduce and filter and stuff like that, because they already have libraries like that around Lodash, etc.
That's right,
Even in
and they're
their
built in too. They're built in.
JavaScript itself now in ES6, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So you got map filter and reduce on arrays. We'll probably build something into objects. But that part of the book is not written yet, the map filter reduce section, but that's a really important part, and I consider it like a level 2 skill. First level is just identifying all the actions, all the mutation, all the, that stuff is where most functional programming books don't connect the dots for people. That like, look, your code is just like full of mutation, full of side effects, and you don't even know how to, we're talking about trying to do like map filter and reduce, or get to monads or something, and you just need to like think clearly about this stuff is safe because it doesn't change anything, and this stuff over here is changing stuff all over the place, and that's where people need a lot of help.
Yeah, side effects it's a bad name for it because it sounds like it's harmless.
Right. Well, and it's an effect, when what I'm talking about is the thing you're doing. The effect is that the email gets sent, but the action is a thing you can hold on to and either perform or not perform. Right? So like the action is first class. It's a
like a command, maybe, or
it's like a function that will send the email, for instance, right? Like it's a first class thing that you don't have to run. You can choose not to run it, and so it's not really an effect. I just think that the term is running this function has an effect. But what do you call the function? I'm calling it an action.
An action? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's good to just talk about the basic concepts without a lot of verbiage, and talk about it in a way that like JavaScript programmers can readily get into.
Yeah. You're doing a ministry here. You're spreading the good news to people who would not otherwise have seen the good news, right. And
preach
it's
it.
Good. Yeah.
And the book is doing pretty well. I don't know if I gave a link in case you want to look it up. lispcast.com/gs will get you there. It's a short link. lispcast.com/gs. It's doing really well, better than I had hoped. It's been out like 12 days now. No, 10 days, 11 days, something like that. And it's just been selling pretty well, so I'm happy about that. And
well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I think the feedback I've been getting so far has been very positive, that it's like a new approach. It's very fresh. It's really made for people who are like burned by trying to get into functional programming before, and like it was just too academic, and they got turned away, and this is just like much cleaner, like more basic, starting more basic, and bringing people in more slowly.
Right.
How many of the grokking whatever books are in this series? Because my husband has the grokking algorithms book, and it's really, really good.
I think that there are 6 now, maybe 7 with my book. Last time I counted, it was before my book was released. The grokking series has actually been, so I work with the editor on the grokking series, and he says that they're doing really well. So people like them. It's good.
It's exciting to be a part of that series, I think.
Yeah. You like the grokking algorithms?
Oh yeah, I was really impressed by it.
Oh, cool. I have it, but I haven't read it.
And I keep talking about it. My husband is learning. Well, he's almost done now, but he's been doing this 8-month intensive computer science, Java, Android, kind of a boot camp, but it's like really long and very difficult.
Okay.
So it's been making me rethink the way I would teach programming to someone. And the grokking books are very, very good for that.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'm very lucky to have the editor that I do. He's really good. Getting me to it's one of the reasons why it took so long was because I did 3 drafts of the first 3 chapters that were really bad. And he kept telling me, no, this isn't good enough. There's more in there. And so it took until January before I really got it. And I think I got it now. I'm on a roll. Okay, well, enough about me. Go check out my book. Any other Clojure news this past couple months? There's got to be something.
It's like not much is going on.
We all still write Clojure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a affirmative.
One of the things I did notice, and I'm a kind of friend of his, so I'm going to shamelessly plug him, is that there's a young man by the name of @Borkdude on Twitter, Mikhail Borken. And I don't know if you've noticed, but he's been producing a shitload of tools. He's been making this linter called Condo, CLJ Condo. And then he started to come up with all these other little things aside, SCI, Jet language, and then it's like every week he's just producing a new tool. So, it's not exactly news, but people say there's no innovation in Clojure, and Mr. Fikes there produced CLJ Bean over the summer. That was very good.
There's still things happening. Yeah,
on the last chat, but on last show. But, there's these things, and I like what Mikhail has done in terms of he's really doing something which is leveraging GraalVM. So he's trying to make things fast, but it's also doing tools that people can sit on top of and innovate. So I'm really impressed by what he's doing, and I think it shows that there's such a lot of nice user space stuff going on.
Did he actually re-implement Clojure, as in Go? Was that him?
No. That there's a thing called Joker, which is written in Go, and he used Joker, and I think the idea of CLJ Condo is that with GraalVM, you don't have to write everything in Go anymore. You can write it in Clojure, and you can use the AST of the compiler. That's the advantage.
So say that again. What is it? So
wait, he uses the regular Clojure compiler.
Yeah.
And it's AST. So the thing Rich Hickey wrote, and then it takes that and it compiles it to Graal. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it doesn't. Yeah. So the idea is that the GraalVM runs, but it consumes Clojure code, and then it can be analyzed,
compiled, or analyzed. Yeah.
Oh, so Joker is just an analyzer.
Compiler. Yeah.
Not Joker. Yeah, Joker is the Go.
Oh,
and CLJ Condo is a kind of re-implementation of that with GraalVM that Mikhail is.
Okay, so instead of taking your own Clojure program and pushing it through GraalVM, Mikhail took the Clojure compiler itself and GraalVM to that thing. Got it to run fast, or at least the analyzer portion of it.
Yeah, I'm guessing he uses tools, Reader, and stuff like this.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's actually compiling the program. I think it's using the Reader to do this stuff, because the Reader produces the ST and then off we go.
Yeah.
Because you can't put a compiler, as far as I know anyway. You can't compile a compiler.
Okay.
Maybe you know better, Mike. I don't know.
Well, I guess there's certain limitations, right, Crawl, and what you can do. And there should be no reason why a compiler couldn't exist, right?
Okay.
Yeah, don't know. Anything's possible, right?
Everything's possible. Yeah.
Everything's possible. Just you need enough Mikhails to go off and do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With an infinite amount of energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is true. He has been producing a lot of stuff these days.
Yeah, I wonder if he was like fired or something. He's just like,
he's got lots of free time.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like, all right, now I know what I'm doing. I'm infinitely wealthy. I'm going to just go make tools all day long.
Are you out there, buddy? Did you get fired?
Yeah, maybe he's in the chat. Oh my goodness.
We got Tim Baldridge on GraalVM. He says GraalVM compiles arbitrary Java bytecode .class files to C++ and compiles it to binary. So your code runs about 50% slower, but it starts faster.
Low latency.
Yeah, so I think the use case is for command line tools.
Yeah.
So you don't want it to be a long-lived server, then you might as well use Clojure and not worry about GraalVM. But for CLI, it's really good.
I'm headed to my first Strange Loop.
Cool.
In a couple of weeks. I'm very excited. Is anyone else going from here?
No.
Any of you guys?
New.
It's like right in your backyard, isn't it, Eric?
St. Louis?
It's like
It's a little
closer.
Closer. I don't. It might be.
Well,
it's. I mean, it's on the Mississippi, so I could
should
get
bike
a
there.
steamboat. I don't know if there's any direct flights there. So like,
bike.
And you should bike there, like right.
paddle bike.
Yeah, come
on. No, I've been a couple times. It is an amazing conference. It's very big. Have y'all been? Mike, have you been?
No, never have.
No, Ray, no.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm jealous actually. It's on the bucket list for sure. Strange Loop. I always watch the videos, and I think it's it's one of the I talked about harder Clojure being like a hallway conference and a big mix, but I always think of Strange Loop as a super technical, innovative space where people really talk about new ideas, and it's always pretty exciting to watch the video.
Yeah, and just know that everybody is like going like this, and like it's just all the talks are over everybody's head, and you're not alone.
Yeah.
I wish someone had told me that the first time I went. I was like, oh God, am I the only one who doesn't understand this stuff? No, everyone's like that. And then the other thing, this is another thing that like one of the reasons I don't want to go anymore, even though I think it's an amazing conference, is I just feel so, I feel like I'm missing out because I think there's more than 5 tracks now. When I went, there were 5 tracks, and I just always felt like, oh, the other 4 talks must be much better. And so I'd spend the time in the talk, like looking at the schedule to figure out what the next one was, and I was just missing the and it's like someone gave me some good advice, which is like, go to the main presentation hall and pick a seat and just sit there and just that's like the experience. That's the one that they think will be the best attended. And because I've had this experience where I went from talk to talk, like just switching rooms all the time, and then I would go talk to someone afterward, like at the party, and we had not seen anything in common. Like it was just impossible to figure out what to talk about. And at least with that, you're getting a better chance. You're not getting that missing out thing. You can always watch the videos online if you need to, and you're getting the thing that they think the most people will want to see. So that was that's how I deal with it when I go. I just sit there.
All right, that's good advice. I'm just gonna sit there.
Yeah.
Just
soak it in.
See an unmovable object in the main hall. That's me.
Just sitting. staying there.
Feed me. I'm going to be hungry.
Yeah, man, that is a feat of organization right there, because there aren't a lot of restaurants, and it's a huge. It's like 2,000 people, something like that. And so you imagine they all go to lunch at the same time. Like, where are they gonna go? And so they provide lunch because there's no way that there's enough restaurants within walking distance. So just I don't know how he does it. Pulls it all together every time.
There's a lot of AI and machine learning talks, and I am kind of AI agnostic. I don't like skeptical of AI.
Yeah.
So
That's healthy.
yeah, I'm excited to see what they say about them.
Yeah, I think AI feels a bit like the Manhattan Project at the moment.
I mean, it's just, it really, for me, it's like a lot of AI is, here's a real life example. There's this machine in one of the food courts in San Francisco, and it is a robot coffee machine. And you're supposed to put in your order, and the robot has like a robotic arm, and it makes the coffee for you. And the machine was malfunctioning while we were there, and we watched a person come out of this door in the wall next to the machine. And she was holding an iPad, and she started manually controlling the robot.
Wait. Is this a Wizard of Oz thing?
Yeah.
So it was just like the brain was... Oh, man.
Yeah. And that's the way...
Is that all it was?
AI still feels that way to me, like we are...
I think most companies, they feel like they might miss out on something if they don't invest in AI, but they don't have enough data. They don't have the data that will actually make good decisions. I just think it's a boondoggle for most companies.
Yeah, it feels that way. And
I also feels to me like it's being proliferated far too early before it's understood or proven to be useful or actually, most importantly, proven to be or kind of like harmless, I
mean, like the YouTube algorithm is one of the most... it's one of the most destructive forces in the world right now. And I posted one of my most popular tweet threads was if you watch a Clojure talk on a blank computer, the thing that's recommended is almost inevitably something about it's about like it's anti-Semitic or it's
just anything controversial to get you sucked in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's really dangerous, because
all
these
did that.
they're optimizing these algorithms for eyeballs
engagement
and attention. And it's dangerous. It's not well understood, and the effects are alarming.
Yeah,
it could change the world.
It did.
Why don't they recommend us? Come on, AI, get with it.
Why don't they?
Because we're not controversial enough. Or...
more apropos. This is we are the least monetizable. Or my mom said, "I tried to watch your show, honey, but it was really boring."
Oh, your mom said that.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, ouch, man.
Yeah.
I take it she's not a Clojure partner.
No. She did used to use Logo a lot.
She has learn if she was a Clojure programmer then.
Yeah, she has a degree in computers and education.
Man. So it is a sick burn. Okay.
A little. It was very different when she was learning that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, my son has taken on programming his calculator. He's got one of these TI calculators, and it has like a little miniature version of BASIC in it.
Oh, cool.
It brings me back to when I was like 14, 15 years old. It's like he's like trying to understand algorithms, right? Grokking algorithms for the first time and learning the constructs of that language that's in that calculator. I think it makes me feel like I wish his school were teaching him that kind of stuff rather than, I mean, there are classes, but it's kind of like, yeah.
Or just like vaguely like encouraging it a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's a fun thing that lives in your calculator.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to have I mean, y'all remember like the Commodore 64, you plug it in your TV and then it just like comes up with a prompt and that's it.
Yeah, you turn it on and you're in basically.
You're right, and it takes like half a second to boot up. It'd be cool to have a device like that, right? That was like just a Lisp prompt, like a REPL right there where you boot it up. That would be a pretty neat system.
Yeah.
And then if it does something you don't like, you just like chunk chunk, you just toggle it off and on. Reset.
Power cycle it, yeah. But that was true. Like all the computers in the early, we turned them on, basically dropped into our REPL.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And it was basic, but still, yeah. That probably influenced a lot of kids at the time.
Yeah.
I never knew what language that was that lived in the TI because I had one.
One of those TI
Wasn't
calculators, TI 84.
Like a TI basic?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also got like a Z80 chip in it, if you want to get geeky about it, like a chip from back in the days.
Man, those things must be super cheap now, right? Like when I was in high school, you had to get a graphing calculator, and it was going to be like $80, $120. But
yeah,
now,
they still are kind of like that.
They're still that expensive, right?
Yeah,
they could be cheaper though, right? They could be. I mean,
like $1 or $2 now.
Yeah, I know. The processing power we had these days.
We had to buy one for my son last year. It was €120, and that was through the school discount. You know.
Yeah, maybe they're overpriced.
Which I guess is about $400. You know?
Maybe the build quality is good.
Joking.
Is it getting lighter and lighter? Like the chip is like this big in there, and it's just this box, empty box.
Yeah.
The whole point is it should be big. It should feel hefty. It should feel like a thing you can program. I don't
like
want a graphing calculator that looks like an iPhone.
They also they give our kids these Chromebooks, and you're like, oh man, cool. You could like program those things, but no, they're so locked down.
Really?
They're so locked down. You can't do anything with a Chromebook.
It's like, man. So you just use it as like a
Mikhail
word
Burkent is on. He's on. He's on. He said hi.
Hello.
How do you have time for anything?
Get back to Babushka.
Get back to work. What are you doing?
More Babushka, more Psy, whatever.
And we're not sure if you caught up, but we've been speculating about the origins of your productivity.
We don't want to distract you. Go back. Don't want to mess with the magic.
He does nothing else but makes tools and bequeaths
and
them
watches
to us.
our show. You know.
Yeah.
Did you miss anything? Yeah, we were just talking about you is all.
Rewind.
Okay. Wow. Back to Clojure. Any more Clojure? Y'all been closing your parens?
Yeah. I'm thinking about that. I've been tempted to make like a little Clojure REPL for these Chromebooks just because it just upsets me that there's like, you can't program the thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it'd be nice if you could flip it on like and start programming. You have a REPL. Just all these kids could program in it. But just no, it's...
Boot right into the JVM. Just right on the hypervisor.
I don't even know anything about those computers.
Oh, yeah.
You can jailbreak a Chromebook.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a developer mode.
How to install Linux on a Chromebook and unlock its full potential.
Yes.
Sounds kinky.
Okay, yeah, so you do have developer mode.
Okay.
Not really sure what you can do with it once you have it, but
Linux sounds like a good start.
Yeah, you can install something to get Ubuntu running, and then you can open a terminal.
We could get Clojure running
Interesting.
on
So
that.
yeah, there we go. Destroy your child's Chromebook.
Okay.
Jailbreak it.
You're paying for it. It's yours.
Oh, yeah. Mike, is that an option? Could you port Reptile for the Chromebook Chrome Web Store?
Anything's possible. Just need to figure out how to. Yeah. Yeah, maybe if there's like an app store for it, maybe a version of Clojure could be made that just anyone could download, and that would be cool. All right, I have to look into that now. Or maybe Mikhail can look into it and his infinite energy.
I mean,
make a Graal version for it.
I've never seen a Chromebook like used one, but is it just like the browser? Is that it? Or does
it feels like it's like a hardware browser. It feels like
is like Chrome running on the hypervisor.
Chrome OS.
Yeah. But can you get apps for it?
There is other stuff in it. Yeah.
Like, can you do
you can
Chrome extensions kind of apps? Like, I don't know, could you develop a REPL that was one of those apps?
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah. All right, that's a task that needs to be done. That must exist in the world.
Yeah, I don't think it's so hard, actually, because I think you just take a web page and amplify it. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I could take your version to Replete, hook it in there.
What's that? What's the thing that Slack Desktop uses? Electron?
Electron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a version of Chrome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like you basically reprogram it to do what you want. I don't know a lot about it. All I know is it takes up a ton of memory.
This is true.
Yeah, it's what Slack is running, isn't it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We forgot to REPL today.
I wasn't gonna risk it with.
I'm wondering what
how
technical problems we're having.
We should probably say what we're doing. Like we're using this Discord server.
What
now.
the setup is? Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit janky, isn't it? Which is we've got to do some work, some technical backroom work next time to get back to the promise of for sure.
And all the teenage kids who know this stuff laughing because they all use Discord and we're like trying to figure it out.
So I'll go over everything. Just keep in mind, none of this existed this morning. All right.
Okay.
So like there are several branches that were pruned because they weren't working. All right. So we are chatting right now. Our video is in Discord. So I don't know if that's a good choice or not, but it seems to be working. The only problem I'm having is every now and then my video will freeze for me, and since I'm streaming my own screen, that's bad. Everybody else seems to be able to see me, but I have to turn my video off and back on. I'm streaming this to YouTube using OBS on Open Broadcaster System. And that's pretty good. It's used by a lot of streamers for like streaming their games or their desktop, whatever they're doing. And it's actually a really nice software. It kind of just works. The only problem that we were having that I spent a few hours this morning trying to figure out was that on the Mac, it does not let you capture the sound coming from an app into OBS. So I could either hear it in my own, I could hear the people talking in my own headphones, or I could broadcast it. And so I couldn't do both. Now my doorbell is ringing. Y'all keep talking. I'll be right back.
Is it linked to OBS?
People have doorbells?
I have a doorbell. I'm doorbell.
I don't know anyone with a doorbell.
What?
Yeah, no, landlords don't repair them. They're not required to be repaired for a house to be livable, so I actually don't know anyone with a working doorbell.
How do you survive?
People
knock
call
on the door then.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, or people call. Because they're not required by California tenant law, landlords just don't fix them.
Wow.
I haven't heard a doorbell in a long time.
You have to go home at Christmas to get your doorbell.
Oh, I should do that. I should go home, ring my parents' doorbell, and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. I just wanted to know what it was like."
Yeah.
So we're not going to be able to set up a REPL, probably.
Well, don't people use this stuff to like stream their games that they're playing? So it's kind of like a game, right?
It's doable. Yeah.
My sister's always on Discord. I bet she knows how to do this.
We need Ray's children and my child to like teach us how to do this.
Yeah.
I can volunteer.
We will be ready for next time because I'm pretty sure that OBS allows you to have another screen on top and the people underneath. So it's totally doable. It's just it's a bit of a rush. So we've got half of it working. We'll get the other half working for next time. Promise.
And then we need to get Replete working too.
Yeah.
So
I think this format of video and this kind of is actually better than YouTube had. In that sense, I think we've it's a bit of a win. The YouTube thing was very easy, it was lazy, and of course that's what we want to be. We want to focus on the content, not technicalities. But actually, I think this format is a lot nicer than we had in YouTube, where it was like flicking around. It was. I think this is a.
Yeah. I like the panel look.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we had a higher frame rate.
Again, that might be something that's OBS related. I think that could be something that could be ticked up.
You just have to do like you're going to do it strangely and just sit very still. Don't move.
Yeah, it's like photographs from the 1920s.
Yeah. So I was curious about the whole Google thing. You just went in there and it was gone. They said, it's been canceled. Like they didn't deprecate it first, or.
To be honest, I only found out about it from Eric.
Eric found it. Okay.
I looked into the Hacker News announcement, which apparently was at the beginning of August, and it's just like it's dead. Shut off.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it's related to this shutdown of Google. So.
Okay.
Well,
we weren't really paying for it, were we? So.
No. Well, bit of a shame.
Yeah.
But what they have now, YouTube, they have some other mechanism where if you're an individual, you can stream yourself, but you can't do group streaming.
Huh.
Yeah. I think that's because a lot of companies, for this group streaming type stuff like Slack, Zoom, and Skype, they all want to charge money for it. So I think maybe Google feel like they can charge money for. They have a thing called Meet, which is like
Hangouts is just gone, right?
Hangouts is gone. Yeah, they have this thing called Meet, which is part of the Google G Suite thing, and that thing does the group chats and stuff like that, but it doesn't have any YouTube streaming capability.
We've got a compliment on the low frame rate effect. John Stevenson says it's very disco.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll try to get some colored lights in here next time.
Lights, yeah.
We're calling out Ray's audio as being bad. Thank you. Please tell us what's wrong with this because we are overhauling our technology.
And I hope to do this better next time.
We need lots of feedback.
Yes. Please tell us everything we are doing wrong. That if you know audio, video streaming stuff, what software we should be using.
I'm using the laptop microphone, so I know it's bad. But the problem was that I couldn't get the frame rate on the other device, so. I will definitely plug in an external microphone next time. So thank you.
We'll have to get Mia's mom to watch it and tell us.
It was extra boring this time.
I'm sorry, I can't watch it.
All right, so I was saying before, to get the audio to work, I tried several different things. The thing that finally worked was a thing called Soundflower.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
It's like from the 70s, yeah.
Yeah. More disco.
Which I don't even know how the settings work or what, but it lets you have a new fake output device, and that's what I'm outputting to, and I have no idea how it works.
So don't reboot your computer until next time.
I think it'll save it. I hope it saves it. What I would
say you should put everything into Docker. And you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, I'll just Dockerize it. What I'm thinking would be better, I don't know if I can handle this, is to actually have a separate device that is doing the streaming, that is like, I don't know, somehow getting the video and the audio from, like it's just like a silent participant in the chat. I don't know.
Like an AI maybe. Yeah.
Because I think that one of the reasons why it has such a low frame rate is because my fan is kicked on. Like it's got to stream it. It's got to mix all the video on this screen I'm looking at with all 4 pictures. That's what's being sent over the wire. And like if I could just kind of separate those things out, maybe each one would do a better job at it.
All right. Well, more on this for next time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go eat my lunch.
All right.
All right.
Go ring a few doorbells while you're there.
Yeah. Hopefully next time we'll be able to get a functioning REPL.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Discord for chatting.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the interface.
Yeah. I think overall, I mean, it would be interesting for next time to think about having a server we can put people onto, so we can, because the chat on YouTube is terrible, and people like, I think there is this option to stream to get people chatting on Discord as well. So, the YouTube is nice for the video and the streaming and that kind of, but it's pretty horrible for the chat. We can't paste URLs and stuff like that. So I think we should also look at the Discord server option as well for the community that's watching it.
All right. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, I was going to say the nice thing about the YouTube chat is that it replays it in real time for the people watching it later. That's kind of nice. But there's got to be a way, I don't know. Like I think that there's a plugin that will like put the YouTube chat like on the side. Who knows? I don't know. I think it's possible.
Something to be investigated.
Yeah.
There
If
seems to be a Discord YouTube plugin, streaming plugin. So I think there is something there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have suggestions, our watchers, please tweet them at us.
Yeah.
We need help.
If you were born after 1995,
Or if you're just better at this than we are,
Yeah, can't be hard.
please bestow on us your expertise. All right, I'm out of here.
all right. Bye.
Bye,
I think
y'all.
we should all get going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See you. I'm going to
Until
stop.
next time.
Till next
Bye,
time,
y'all.
hit that
Do you think you can
subscribe.
figure out how to stop it?
Yeah, I see a button that says stop streaming.
Says stop?
I think
Okay.
that's it.
Cool.
I think that's it. Let me try it. Here we go. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bye!